Hey everyone, I'm your host Ray Ireland, and you are listening to the Soul Aligned podcast, where we help high-achieving leaders and driven visionaries do what you love and live your purpose. So today I wanted to talk about choosing your life with confidence. And, confidence is one of those things where I think most of us have a love-hate relationship to it. We're all pretty inherently confident when we are babies. We're doing whatever we want. We're crawling around. We're like, yeah. But then as soon as we start to understand kind of what's happening in the people around us, something shifts and changes, and we start to doubt the confidence that we initially had. And then, we go through our adolescent years and confidence is totally out the window. If anything, it's this kind of false identity, a false ego that gets carried on. And then we're spit out into the real world, into being adults. And everyone's like, be confident. You want to get a good job? Be confident. You want to make good friends or find the love of your life? You have to be confident. And we're all kind of scratching our heads. We're like, huh? Because what we were taught in the school systems was to actually not stick out, not stand out amongst the crowd. It's way safer to be doing what everyone else is doing and to, blend in. And so it can become really difficult when we are like spat out into the world to, first of all, have confidence, let alone feel like we actually have the ability to choose our own life. So imagine this, you go to college, you follow this awesome path that's supposed to get you to the end. You end up getting what is an awesome job, but eventually at some point, there might be this feeling that you get around, wait, did I choose this? Like, was this the life I created? And so this is a really important thing to be talking about and also reminding one another of, is that yes, we actually have always had the power to choose our life. At some point, we might have actually just given it away to someone else. So you can start by really reclaiming your confidence and reclaiming your trust with yourself, the trust with that inner arrow or that North Star that you're following. So that way you can be taking the steps to get there and really feeling like you are totally owning and rocking the life that you are choosing. So this might feel like a total stretch to some. Maybe for others, they've been like, yeah, I've been choosing my life, but if I choose the life I want, it's going to come with all these extra hard pieces. I've had a lot of people be like, well, I chose to just travel around and, do this nomadic lifestyle. But then they realize they're like, wait, but I'm actually not building anything that's creating an impact. So I actually, is this what I want? So you need to be able to remember that you are in control and you have the power to pivot what you're doing with your life at any point. So that means pivoting your job, relationships, your daily habits, your eating patterns, your exercise, your spiritual practices, how you're giving back to the community that you're in or the world as a whole. And so giving yourself that quality of leadership and also royalty, sit in your own royal throne of life and deliver from that space. Deliver in terms of how you're living your life, how you're showing up for others, how you are creating and sharing and being of service. So once you do have that ability to pivot in whatever direction you want, then it's more of a practice of actually just becoming clear around what you want. And just remember that it's not supposed to look pretty and perfect. It's supposed to be messy. You're supposed to choose something that you think you absolutely want, and then you get there and you realize, wait, that's totally not it. Because still, once you arrive in that space, it'll give you a new perspective to look around and find that deeper space of alignment or that deeper path of alignment that feels like, wow, this is actually what I want. So I've found a lot of times for entrepreneurs, this is kind of one of those like entrepreneur paths where they're doing the normal thing. At some point they realize like, oh my gosh, I'm way too rebellious to be like told what to do all the time, where to go, when to work, who to work with, all that stuff, right? And so you go, all right, I'm going to choose my life and I'm getting out of here, right? And so you leave. And then what happens is this like crazy storm of events because all of a sudden you are so destabilized. And so you want to just like be prepared for that, set yourself up for success while maybe making some of these pivots in terms of choosing a more aligned life, and just be ready to, have your support systems in place so that way you can have that easier, more graceful transition into the life of your dreams. Remember that keyword transition, it doesn't happen just immediately. So when things do start to get crazy and funky, what are you going to do? Are you going to turn around and go back to your job or back to that relationship that was abusive? What are you going to do? You really have to be fully committed to living the life that you want, choosing the life that you want, and you gotta just continue on following that North Star, listening to your inner guidance, as it will lead you closer and closer to your divine destiny here on the planet. And the coolest thing is that you can't go wrong. You can't make a wrong decision. You can't go on the wrong path. Whatever path you choose is actually the most perfect path for you to receive all of those lessons, all of those triggers, all of those people, all that support, all that love, all those experiences that will create who you are, shape who you are, so that way you can be confident and stand out. It's all about just being your fullest self. Don't we all want to do that? Don't we all want to be that? And really live that out, our own personal legacy. So I'm kind of talking about those beginning stages of choosing your life with confidence. And so once you do start to choose your life, it becomes more of a journey around listening and being patient. Because a lot of times we'll choose something, say that choice is, I want to be a millionaire. Again, it's not going to happen immediately. So you need to really be able to slow down in some ways while being super focused on your goals, on your desires. And you'll know if you're going down what you thought was your, chosen path, and things start to feel really off. A lot of times, someone said this once where, I can't remember who it was, someone said, you'll get a little feather. There'll be a little feather that's brushing your cheek and saying, hey, I have a message for you. And I'm like, okay, interesting. But a lot of times, what do? We kind of brush the feather off. We're like, oh, whatever, right? And so then, spirit throws a rock at us and we're like, ow, that kind of hurt. We're like, why'd you do that? I'm still going to go on this path. And then you keep going. And then all of a sudden a brick gets thrown your way and just brushes your nose. You're like, oh my gosh, that almost took me out. Well, if you're not stopping every time that something is coming into your field, whether it's a trigger or an argument or, something that just stirs it up, a big shift in directions, you need to take that pause, check in with yourself, and ask yourself, am I truly still in alignment with this? Am I still moving forward on my soul's journey? And unfortunately, the thing is a lot of us, we have a hard time listening to those little signs. So we're still walking down that same path and we haven't stopped yet. We haven't taken a moment to just consider what's going on, what's present here, what is the message that's wanting to be delivered to me. So you keep on going, all of a sudden, boom, semi-truck hits you and you're flat on the ground. This is similar to disease, car accidents, accidents of any kind, actually. A lot of times there's a sign, there's something that the universe is wanting you to hear. And it can be the most difficult thing to hear once we get to that space. So practice the skill of listening way before that semi truck comes. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it. And I'm sure you probably have too. But it's about being aware of the little signs along the way. So that way you can be making these little micro adjustments instead of continuing down the same path, realizing at the end of the 50 years, oh my gosh, you've totally lost track of what your chosen life was. You're now living according to someone else's rules and standards and values. And now it's a lot harder to get over here. And a semi-truck's coming, so watch out. So it's about that skill of listening. And then when you're on your path, the last thing that I'll share, it's about celebrating and enjoying and being grateful for all that you have, all that is coming to you, all that is on your path that you get to experience. The more that you can tune into that vibration of gratitude while you're walking your chosen life, the easier it'll be to continue following that gratitude, continuing following your own bliss, your joy, your happiness, your fulfillment, those deep-rooted pieces that we desire to experience in life. Not just observe, but experience full out 100%. So my invitation to you is to first just listen and take inventory. Are you living your chosen life? And are you choosing it with confidence and conviction and love and passion? So once you check in, take that action, go in that direction, and create, be, and experience all that you can in life. All right, well, that is all for today. Thank you so much for checking out this video and listening. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't, and I'll see you on one of the next videos.